Hey, folks, and welcome to the Lonesome Cowboy Podcast. I'm Brian Tremblay, your host today. And, of course, continuing on with a wonderful cascading group of musicians, DIY musicians. And today I bring to you Josh Ritchie. Hi, Josh.
Hey, Brian, how's it going?
Very good, sir. Josh, where are you based out of?
I'm based out of a little tiny place in sort of mid to southern Ontario called the Bruce Peninsula.
Oh,
It's
okay.
yeah, it's kind of out in cottage country.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not a lot happens here when it's not summer months, but yeah, it's home.
Well, yeah, you're right in the vacation territory there, eh?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
all that stuff going on, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, great fun. Um, so tell me about, let's start with this one. Tell me, you're a young guy. So I want to know about the very first time you performed in public to a decent audience, and what did you play?
Oh, that's a very good question. Um, it you know what? I think the first time I performed, so like I grew up like playing all the time and I like playing plastic guitars all the time. So I did put on quite a few little tiny concerts like to family and friends where I made them watch me strum a plastic guitar left-handed for no reason.
See?
But one of the earliest times that comes to mind, I think I was I was in grade eight. However old you are in grade eight.
14, 13,
And my
14.
yeah,
Yeah.
and my school band went to Canada's Wonderland for a part of like a for like we call it Kiwanis Festival. I don't know how
Yeah, no,
universities
no, I
organize
know
it.
what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah. And we went to the second round was at Canada's Wonderland.
Oh, cool.
And back then I was a drummer. Um, and I played a drum kit that was sort of made up of the whole orchestra pit. So like instead of a hi-hat, it was a triangle. Instead of toms, it was timpanis and like a kick and a snare, so that like I could try to cover as much of the
Wow.
orchestral arrangement as possible.
Yeah.
Just because like it was mostly snare and bass drum, so I could get away with that most of the time. And then there were little flourishes here and there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was pretty. We did pretty well, I think, if I remember correctly. And that was fun and kind of absurd, but fun.
That's awesome. Um, so do you have a formal musical training background?
I do a little bit. Like I'm a fourth generation musician actually.
In your
My
family?
Yeah, so my dad and my uncle were in a touring folk band called Tanglefoot for years and years,
Oh,
and
I
then
think I've heard of that.
yeah, yeah. My grandmother was a music teacher and an opera or like a classical soprano,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
her mother, I believe, was also a music teacher. So it's in there pretty good.
That's
My
cool, man.
formal training just sort of. I did go to a music school called Metalworks in Mississauga
I've
briefly.
heard, yeah, heard of that.
It wasn't really the right fit for me
Isn't
though.
Metalworks, isn't that Gil Moore's
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah,
yeah, from drummer
yeah,
from
he's the one.
Triumph. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I was there for a little bit. But most of my formal music training has mostly been just based out of curiosity, like wanting to, like, why does that sound like that? And then like looking it up and then figuring it out that way, kind of
Sure,
thing.
sure.
Yeah.
Because I've seen you, well, you've said you played drums, so that's a new one. And then I've seen you with sitting in front of a keyboard and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And did I see you playing anything else? I don't know what else you
I
Is it
really so yeah, guitars is my first instrument.
okay?
But my dad is a keyboard player, but when I went away to school, I didn't have him around all the time. So anytime I felt like a keyboard part, I had to figure it out myself basically. And so I when I was away at school, I was a much better keyboard player than I am when he's around, and I can just be like, "Hey, do this please," because I suck.
That's awesome. Excellent. Um, the your bio says that you grew up in rural Ontario. Is that where
Yeah.
you are right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty rural. It's pretty out there. It's
Yeah.
like the cottagers come in the summer, but it's
Yeah.
homey. It's kind of remote.
Yeah. So when you had parents that were very much into music, and if you said to them, okay, folks, I'm going to go and pursue music as my vocation, they probably went, okay. And where
Yeah,
most
they were
parents would
pretty
go,
cool.
no way, you're going to
Yeah,
college.
exactly. Yeah, so that first hurdle wasn't really there. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
a lot more there. It was more like, are you sure than than
Uh-huh.
anything else.
Yeah. Do you really want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, your dad would be able to. Has he been a great resource for you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
we still play together. He played with me at FMO where we first crossed
Oh,
paths.
okay.
And yeah, he's always there for helping out, especially with the business side of things. That side doesn't come that naturally to me.
Sure.
And I'm often too much of a people pleaser to like say what I want. So he's definitely a huge help in that sort of
Good,
regard.
good,
Yeah.
good, good. That's handy that you have somebody like that, a resource,
Yeah,
that
totally.
you
Yeah,
can
it's essential.
that you
Yeah,
can. Hey, now here's a question: have you ever incorporated any of your dad's music into your sets?
I have actually. He
Tanglefoot
does.
songs? Yeah, you have,
Yeah,
eh? Cool.
there was one called Buxton that he wrote, that I actually put onto. It has to do with um it has to do. He wrote it right after he went to the Martin Luther King Museum in
Oh,
the
nice.
States, and it has to do with a white person and a black person kind of like their narrative of meeting understanding the in this setting that the
Hmm.
white guy is a Canadian who is at the local tavern and his town is the last stop on the Underground Railroad, and there's a newly escaped slave who they play the fiddle together and they come to an
Wow.
understanding kind of thing. um,
Wow.
and so I sort of when I it actually I put that on my second record because it fit thematically, and we had worked up an arrangement originally just because I only had the one record and I had to flesh out a set when we went to play live.
Hmm.
And it's a nice long one, so it padded a fair bit of runtime. But then it just kind of became its own thing, and then we put it on the second record. We don't do it as much now as maybe it deserves, just because it is so long. And
Cool.
but
How
yeah,
long is long?
that's it's about 8.5 minutes, maybe almost
Oh,
nine. Yeah,
you got the Gordon Lightfoot train trilogy
exactly.
going on there,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. That's kind of cool. Um, I didn't find you on Bandcamp.
No, I haven't gotten to Bandcamp yet, I guess. There's so
Tell me
many.
about that. Tell me about that. Like what's hold you back? And tell me what you're thinking about because that's so far everybody's saying this is where we got to go. So
Yeah,
I want to see what your thoughts are.
honestly, I think I'm just late to the party.
Is
Like
that it?
I've literally, yeah. The
Okay,
other ones generally with the other like streaming platforms, I've used like a third party to get it out there, and
sure.
Bandcamp wasn't one that was ticked. So
No.
that's sort of what the real reason. But I've heard great things about Bandcamp, and it's always something that's in the back of my mind to do.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
just it's in the last few months, anyways. It's just been, oh yeah, I'll get to that, and then I haven't.
So, what's your process, Josh? I want to know, like, you wrote a song, and now where does it go from there and through recording and the whole deal, if it even gets that far?
Yeah, so generally I write a lot that doesn't see the second day, kind of,
Yeah.
and that I might look back on it in 6 months and take like an aspect of something that wasn't crap
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
But generally, stuff that I believe in then gets to the demoing phase in this little home studio room that I'm in right now,
Gotcha.
and yeah, I DIY the recording process. Absolutely. Generally, my most recent record that was just out, I am playing I'm playing at least the guitar and the drums on everything.
Cool.
But in a lot of places I'm picking up a spare keyboard part or a bass part too, and I just have always kind of worked that way. Like where I grew up, there wasn't a lot of people to like make a band with, so I kind of had to learn how to be my own band in a way. Uh,
Hmm.
so I've always just sort of liked that kind of one part at a time process, and it's slow and it can be really frustrating, but it's how I kind of do it. And then I'll make a demo and I'll usually like play it for some close ears that I trust. And if I'm still liking it after that point, then I'll play it live for a little bit first before I go back
Cool.
and
Yeah.
record it for real.
That's a good
because
idea.
that's when stuff really kind of you really work out the kinks.
Yeah.
And I didn't always used to do that, but in the past, then I've written the song, recorded it, and sang it one way, and it's usually in the vocal where I learn how to do it better over time, and then I just like berate myself for not waiting when I recorded it originally. So I guess the biggest part of my process is actually like time and like letting it kind of exist and live in my brain and making sure that like can I say this over and over and over and over again and not be like wow who is this guy like what an idiot basically. um and yeah and yeah that's kind of like time is my self edit if that makes any sense but
Well,
yeah
that's a
and
good
then
idea. Yeah.
yeah and then other than that it's just like when I'm going for an arrangement, I like to try and find little parts that you might not hear the first time or even necessarily the second time. But once you hear it, then next time you go back to listen, then you're listening for it. And then you
Yeah.
might find another little part. And like just keep these little parts that are either like musically or rhythmically just sort of like it's almost like a if a hook is like a title, these parts are like the subtitles to the hook, if that makes any sense.
Completely. Completely.
And just sort of like little things that'll keep you back and hopefully you'll find something new or a different relationship between two parts on every listen and just to try and keep it fresh. Like the all the records that I love listening to are a bit older and they have these little parts and these little moments of musicianship that like keep
Yeah.
you coming back and keep the records classic, you know?
Yeah. That's an awesome thing. You sound like a producer.
That's kind of yeah, my day job, if you will, is the producing kind of recording side. Not just music, but any sort of audio job. I used to work for like an AV company or
Oh
like
yeah.
I've
Yeah. Yeah.
also done audio recording for for a children's education app. So
Cool.
yeah, recording I like to record stuff basically.
So, music is your full-time gig?
Yeah, music producing, recording, yeah, that kind of
No
whole
kidding, eh? So
yeah.
you've been able to even fill in all the roads, man. I mean, that's that. And sorry, hate to ask, but how old are you?
26. Yeah.
Jeez,
Yeah.
buddy, come
Yeah.
on.
I mean, I've been very fortunate that I have lots of people who have been supportive along the way and
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not it's not always easy, but you know, you make a go of it, you do the best you can and I wouldn't want to do anything else. So
Yeah,
yeah.
bravo to you, sir, for coming across as a much more learned, scholarly person in the
Oh,
music business.
thank you.
Yeah, because I'm 26 and I went, no, that's not enough time. Yeah, you're just one of those guys that I look back and go, yeah, okay, whatever, I quit. Well, that's cool. Produced anybody notable?
So I've done not I'm this part of the process is really just budding, but
Hmm.
I'm producing our mutual friend Gracie Jett,
Oh
who
yeah, Gracie.
yeah. So I'm
Yep.
working on her album is almost done. We're just finishing putting the last kind of parts together on it. My dad, I produced a single for him last year, I think it was.
Good for you.
And he's working on his sort of next solo project, if you will.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then our bass player, his name's Curtis Yacht, and he's we've experimented a little bit recording some stuff together, but we haven't really we were a little hanging out too much and having too much fun to make anything real. So yeah,
There
we
you
have
go.
yet we have, but I he's my next victim though.
Yeah, that's awesome that you are doing that. Bravo to you.
Yeah, thank
Because I mean, the only thing that I keep telling people is, look, I got less time in front of me than I do in back. I got to get going.
yeah, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Um, because I mean, the reason I asked your age is that someone with three albums in and solo DIY artist that takes a lot of like you must be doing okay for yourself, you know?
I've got help. Like
Good,
it's definitely not
good.
all based on the merit of what I've been able to do musically, but I mean the three albums thing more comes from the first one came out right before COVID. So it was sort of exciting for like a few months, and then it all disappeared. And then
Yeah.
the second one was sort of like, I need a little bit of a relaunch because the first one was killed by COVID. And the second one did okay, a little bit okay. It was a little bigger than
Yeah.
the first.
Yeah. Yeah.
But again, it was still in COVID, so that
Yeah.
didn't really stick. And then the third one now is post COVID, and we're hoping that
Yeah.
it really kind of sticks out a little further. But
Yeah.
yeah, and also I just like until recently, I've write all the time, and just like songs kind of find me, I always say, instead of I'm kind of
Oh, okay.
finding them. And yeah, I just love the making of the records is my favorite part always.
Cool.
It
That's
is
neat.
yeah, it's just to be creative and to kind of answer to nobody but myself is really
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in the similarity that when you talk about your process, I'm similar to the same thing, except I write a whole mess of songs, put them out, not put them out, but put them together nice and formal and the whole deal. But I don't record them, and then I go back and I go, "Oh, I wrote this," or "Ooh, what were you thinking?"
Yeah.
I go the opposite thing. I'll do the whole song and then weed it out later if I have to. Yeah. So you've do you have a band when you go out and play? Are you a band or are you just you and the acoustic guitar? What's your usual way when you're out playing in public?
As much as possible, I like to be a band when it's feasible.
Cool.
Um, but that does mean having to hire guys, so it only can happen when it kind of makes sense.
Hmm.
Um, and for the longest time, I kind of only like to play band wise and did the other stuff because I accepted it was part of it.
Sure.
Um, but more and more recently, I'm starting to enjoy the strip back stuff a little bit more. It's a little more. I always say that playing like solo or duo is less playing and more like having a show kind of put together because like you can't fill in the cracks with like a jam or like just the fact that there's four of you up there and the energy's higher. So like you kind of have to be the ringmaster a little bit more. But I do love being super loud with a whole band and just like making a whole bunch of noise and making it crazy energetic and that is just as much fun. Like yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Our 21st century music business is wrought with challenges that we run into constantly. What's the biggest thing that you're facing or things that you're facing right now?
I think a big one for me right now is finding venues that want to work with you instead of kind of not I wouldn't say take from you, but like that just sort of view you as a partner and not a means to an end. Um, I'm really yeah, that has been the biggest sort of hurdle in my sort of chapter. Like I'm not finding enough places that are like, hey, like maybe that didn't go so great, but like we'll have you back and we'll build audience and we'll see how it goes next time. And there
Hmm.
are a few that have been great for that. Like I've found lots Ottawa to be a great hotspot for that kind of thing. And
That's
weirdly
cool.
enough, Bracebridge, Ontario has a beautiful Bracebridge Hall that is the first place that's kind of ever wanted me to do that kind of thing there. And I will be eternally grateful to them. But
Nice.
yeah, lots that I think that's one of the biggest things is just venues that sort of don't see it as a partnership and kind of see it as a you're the product and that they can make money off of.
Yeah, and that seems to be, and I don't know about you, um, but I try to do some education with it. I don't know if you've tried to say, hey, it would be really good if we can help us do this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've gotten any, oh, hey, sure, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I've gotten lots of whatevers. Yeah.
yeah,
But yeah, I think it's interesting. Like we're in a weird place where we almost have to educate and advocate for yourselves because like
it's
some of
nuts.
the
Yeah,
old and like like I said, I kind of grew up in music, so I knew more or less what to expect. And I did know that it's perfectly viable to pursue a career in music. You may not like become Taylor Swift or anything, but like you can sustain yourself absolutely.
yeah,
Um, and and the sort of rules that I was taught growing up in that world are starting to disappear. And sort of like the rules and the etiquette and the really the partnership of the venue and the performer is seems to be more tenuous than when I was a kid, at least.
Yeah. So interesting because you've mentioned COVID a couple of times. Do you think it's come back from COVID or
No, I don't
no?
think so. Yeah,
And then the second question is always why didn't it?
yeah. I wish I knew why,
Yeah,
but
no
no,
kidding. No one
I
knows.
I don't. I'm not really sure what happened. I was actually chatting with my mom about this earlier, and she was like, or I said, like, COVID in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna do what I'm told, and then the second it's over, I'm gonna go back to how it was. Like, I'm gonna go
Doing what
out.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna see people. I'm gonna socialize. I'm gonna do all those things.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like like the further away we get from it, it doesn't seem like everybody had that mentality. And like maybe it did change people more than it changed me, but I have always been sort of extroverted and sitting at home alone isn't my cup of tea. And so I was excited for COVID to be over and return to the sort of
Yeah.
boisterous, full rooms of bumping into people and that kind of thing. And it
Yeah.
never really bustled like it used to, it feels like.
Yeah. I hear
Yeah,
you.
it's a weird one for sure.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on streaming right now? Do you think it'll ever be fixed?
I don't know. I lean towards no, and I'll tell you why. When we were at Metalworks, one of the first things they told us is it's going to get better. We just need people to buy into streaming, and then the results will come from there. Like, it's going to get better. It's just new. That's all. And that was what, 6 years ago, I think.
Or even
And it
more?
hasn't, yeah, and it hasn't gotten any better.
Yeah.
So I think the idea of streaming music is fine,
Yes.
but because like it works for movies, right? Um, I just think movies as an overarching sort of like entertainment source, movies are smarter than music. Like they know what they're doing way better than we do. Like,
Yeah.
they're choosing to honor great art films, and like the Grammys are like, what is going on there?
Yeah.
Um but yeah, so I think streaming isn't great because platforms like Spotify and stuff turn it into kind of like a pick me competition with showing everybody how often people are listening to you. And like that's not inherently a bad thing, but when it becomes the barometer of how the industry selects what happens, that becomes a bit of an issue for me personally, anyways, because like there are plenty of people who can release a nice sounding song and people will like it, but like, can they tour? Like, can you actually
Yeah.
like tour when it sucks? Like,
Yeah.
and like, can you even play live?
Yeah.
All there's that side of it, but then there's also just that like I personally don't even want to know how many people are listening to my music, and it doesn't matter if it's a lot or a little. I don't want to know
I stopped
because
looking at
it won't.
stats for a long
Yeah,
time, man.
because it won't be what I want in my head, and then I'll
No.
spiral, and then it'll be terrible.
Yeah.
Um, and I think the duality of kind of like having to be up there because everybody is, and you kind of have to just eat that, but then at the same time, we all know it's not good for the industry. Like something's got to give there. Like we need we all accepted that smoking was bad for us, even though it looks really cool, and we stopped. And we took the precautions into making it, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like like the truth came out, and that doesn't seem to want to happen with the music stuff and the streaming stuff. Like
Yeah,
it
exactly.
isn't good for the industry.
Yeah.
Like that's objectively true, and but we all still sign away the contracts and
Yeah. Yeah. It's made the audience more accessible to us, but it's also made a gajillion artists accessible to the audience.
yeah, exactly. And I think also in a way what makes that worse for the industry at all is back in the day, like just because you loved music didn't mean you made it. It might
Yeah.
mean you're a radio guy and then you're important for a whole other sect of the industry, or you're a producer or a label owner or something. Like there were other jobs within the industry that like are so important and we need those people back. But now everyone's taking that jump right to artists, whether it be right or wrong, but like we need to diversify how we're going into music, not just that we are.
Yeah.
Because yeah, otherwise we get these this need to wear so many different hats, and then it just becomes, well, how good a juggler are you? Like how
Yeah,
well can you
exactly.
wear
Yeah.
all the hats instead of maybe you're really good at one and you need a team around you to make it a whole thing, but like that sort of thinking is gone away, I feel
Yeah,
like.
exactly. Well, so speaking of venues and albums, have you toured the albums at all?
We done a little bit of release shows out sort of Eastern Ontario and just into Quebec a little bit just
Yeah.
this past weekend. And now we're sort of waiting for the post-Christmas scene to, we're
Yeah.
dipping a little too, especially for living in rural Ontario and trying to
Hmm.
leave in the winter. It's not
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about it. Touring has become a weird thing too because, like I said, I did it 10 days.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for that grant, I mean, we'd have been sleeping in cars and eating bologna sandwiches.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Uh, that's about it. Or should I say that's not the bologna sandwich was my day. So now it's eating ramen noodles.
But
So
yeah,
you,
that is the thing. It's so hard
yeah,
to make a go of it, really.
yeah. And I mean, look at a band like that. It's gone viral. That announcement from the lead singer of Garbage, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
saying that, sorry, this is it, gang. We can't do this no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like hopefully that's eye-opening to someone who,
Yeah. I hope it is. I
yeah.
really do. So you've been speaking of folk Canada and that, you were a showcase artist this year?
Yeah, I got
You
a spotlight showcase this
Oh,
year.
you
Yeah.
got a spotlight, right
Yeah.
on. Good for you. And then you had one last year too?
Yeah, the year before, yeah, then I was the whole official FMO artist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Two in a row, buddy. Makes a guy like me just running with one private showcase after 4 years.
Oh,
That was so much fun though this year. I
oh
thought,
man, it was so much fun. And
yeah,
it was my first time doing a private showcase. They didn't have that my first year, like at
yeah, I
all,
know. I
that
hope they
whole
keep
thing.
this.
And yeah, man, like that was the whole reason to go. Like, yeah.
You've seen the movie Almost Famous, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When they have that scene in the hallway and they're panning down the hall and looking
Exactly.
at the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, it
I
was like,
literally did one of those with my phone,
so did
actually.
I.
Yeah.
Yeah, it blew me away, man. Um, when it comes to you appear to be a DIY of everything. Is it for recording too, or do you use commercial studios?
Nope, everything's done in here or either in this room or we have actually a cottage that's just about 20 minutes away from here,
Oh,
which
no
has a
way.
bigger sort of more sort of appropriate for like a live room kind of thing. So a little bit
Nice.
out there, but lots just in here and just close mics and yeah, just kind of make it sound good in the room and then it'll sound good in the box. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's that.
Outstanding.
Yeah, that is my favorite part to just
Yeah.
like. I always say like when I'm recording like a guitar part or something, I'm only playing for about 2 minutes, and then I'm just trying to find the right sound for like 4 hours.
Yeah. How many takes was that? Well, it was
Yeah,
only one, but it took me 5 hours to
yeah,
set the thing
exactly.
up. Yeah, that's about it. The showcase, Josh, when you had an official one, how does that work? How did that work for you? I mean, does things come from that?
Yeah, I feel I got I the from the official one I got one showcase or one festival like right then and there
That's cool.
on the thing. I was literally like leaving and going like I can't remember upstairs somewhere, and I ran into my good pal Allison Bowie of the Ottawa Grassroots Festival,
Oh,
who
cool. There you
said
go.
we want you next year, and then I was able to. In April, I went down and opened for Devin Cuddy, and that was pretty fun. That was
Cool.
that was a really fun weekend.
Good stuff.
And then I got a couple. Actually, I got my local festival from it called Summerfolk in Owen Sound, and
Nice.
yeah, that one of course was super fun too, and it's when we started releasing the first single of the album,
Yeah, yeah.
and it seemed like such a great idea to piggyback like kind of the publicity of that and the festival, but it was such a whirlwind doing both at the same time. I could barely remember like anything
Yeah,
from
that's
the
awesome.
event proper.
That's awesome. Excellent. Josh, tell the folks where they can find you on the socials and on the web and your music and all that fun stuff.
You can find me on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Josh Ritchie Music with an underscore at the end.
Okay.
And then it's just on all major music streaming platforms except for Bandcamp, I guess. I'm just Josh Ritchie, and there's a picture of me in a leather jacket going like this, and I'm all blurry, and the background's green.
And
If you
when you
can't find the
search
right
it,
one,
put Josh Ritchie Music, because if you don't, you'll get some other Josh
yeah,
Ritchie,
you'll get a
another
Love
famous
Island
one.
contestant from a few years ago, and it's all kinds of confusing. I still get tagged in some of their Facebook posts, and I don't know how to respond.
I just say, hey, thanks for the engagement.
Yeah.
It's what we're after. We're going to take it
Yeah,
any way
exactly.
we can
Yeah.
get it, man.
Take a stream while you're here. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I really do thank you for coming on and taking the time to share some info with us and greatly
Awesome.
appreciated.
Well, thanks for having me, man. This was a fun chat.
Hey, anytime, sir.